boy, did the kids enjoy that. This was something that they never imagined that their dad would come up with. And by the way, he enjoyed it too. In 1990, David went to work for Homewood Suites, a brand owned by the Promise Company. Their brands were DoubleTree, Embassy Suites, Homewood Suites, Harrah's, and the Hampton Inns. As a manager trainee and ended up becoming the night auditor. In 1991, AC/DC was touring the United States for their Razor's Edge tour, which brought them to Dallas twice during this tour. The band used the Promise Hotel as their hotel to stay in while touring. And if there was a Homewood Suites in the city, not far from where the show that would be their preferred choice. So, in February and June of 1991, they stayed at Homewood Suites. Both times after the concert, when they came back to the hotel, they would stay in the lobby to unwind and talk to David and some of the guests that happened to be there. So he casually held conversations with Angus Young, Malcolm Young, Cliff Williams, Chris Slade, and Brian Johnson. David eventually went to work as night auditor at the Embassy Suites on I-35. And when the Sportorium was open, several of the out-of-town wrestlers stayed at the hotel. Another famous person that stayed at the Embassy Suites was Luther Vandross when he toured. With all the famous people that stayed at the hotels, employees were not allowed to tell people that such and such was staying there. Eventually, David became the controller of that Embassy Suites and was responsible for making sure that the hotel stayed within their budget, and he paid all the bills. David's next job was with Sodex at Children's Hospital as a controller for the food department. While at Children's, David dressed up as Santa, the Coca-Cola polar bear, a turkey at Thanksgiving, was a clown for the children's Christmas parade each year, and several other characters, and would visit the children. Excuse me. Of course, he also did the job he was hired to do, which was make sure the food department stayed in budget. He was in charge of all money transactions from the different cafeterias, coffee shops, vending machines, and such. He would also audit the cashiers. He helped develop a credit system and program the cash registers when they went to a new system. The credit system was where people could either put cash on a card or have a certain amount taken out of their paycheck onto the card. So this way the employees did not have to carry cash. After Children's Hospital, David went to work for Meridian Sourcing, a company that made private label clothes for sporting goods stores like the Sports Authority, Gander Mountain, and even Aldi. As their logistics as their logistics person, his job was to get the goods from the manufacturers to one of their three warehouses that Meridian used, and then to the company that brought them. During his time, his wife Marilyn worked for Minyard food stores, and for several years at Christmas, David was their Santa. David worked there until the company went bankrupt. It was at this point in 2008 that David went to work at Walmart in the electronics department. While working there during Easter and Christmas, most of the time, David was the Easter Bunny and the Santa, respectively. In March 2018, David became disabled due to pinched nerves in his back, bad hips, and bad knees. Also at this time, Marilyn's health started its toll on her. She had liver and kidney problems, and between February of 2018 until March 2019, she would be in the hospital 22 times and 2 stays in a rehab center. So it turned out to be a good thing that David was not working, so he could take care of Marilyn. During this time period, David went from using one cane to walk to 2 canes and eventually having to use a walker to get around. David decided that he needed to decorate his walker and would put simple stickers on it and change it about every 2 weeks. In April, Marilyn decided not to go to the hospital anymore. And shortly after that, she was put on hospice, so she would be comfortable at home. They celebrated her 71st birthday on May 18th, the 35th wedding anniversary on June 1st. On June 9th, 2019, David's soulmate Marilyn passed away due to the liver and kidney problems. In October of 2019, David started to go to the Senior Citizen Center in Arlington to work out in the indoor pool because that was his only way to exercise. He also started eating the daily lunch there since he was there. He made friends with all the lifeguards at the pool and with a lot of the seniors. He was known for his decorating he was known for his decorating the walker, which he started to change every week. And when the holidays came, look out because he went all the way, putting lights on the walker. For the holidays, he would dress up, wearing different hats. He gave out gifts to the lifeguards. At Christmas, he gave out gifts to all the seniors. During some holidays, he gave out beads to everyone. Since David was always dressing up for the holidays, he became known as Mr. Holiday, which is a funny thing because for years he had been doing that, dressing up as Santa, Easter Bunny, clowns, and such. We'll end David's story here. We could have gone into more detail about all the events in his life, but time does not allow us to go there. So, in remembrance of his life, it seems that he tried to always have fun with what came his way. Please try to live that way in your lives. Stay sharp.